to use a very short time because we're out of time. I'll use 15. I have two presentations to make. That's for the digital marketplace, where exporters are able to trade 24 hours their products, the global market, and also the inputs suppliers who are in position to also make sure farmers access the inputs 24 hours. Then we shall move to the digital traceability. So I would love to use 15 such that can save time. So I'm sure everyone has managed to probably move or go to www.famuna.com to try and probably have a look at the platform, because with the booklet, I wanted us to do it when you have your gadgets with you. Let it be a tablet, a mobile phone, or a computer, sorry, a laptop. Is everyone ready? Yes. So the uniqueness of what FAMUNERA does is we aggregate the demand. We start off from the demand side, such that we trigger the business, we bring the business directly to the exporter. The exporter is in position, or the supplier. Actually, I want to note this as well. The traceability, that the marketplace and the traceability is not meant for only the exporting only, but still also people who are able to because most exporters actually are also supplying on the local market. We have people that are selling out, but still they are supplying hotels here, they're supplying institutions here. But the whole point, the baseline here is ensuring food safety. It doesn't matter whether it's on the international market or you're exporting or you actually selling locally. But obviously, we are making sure you can be able to, because this is highly demanded out there, but still we want to make sure our people also locally are able to have and consume safe food. So we shall start off from the importer side or the buyer side, because like I said, our model, we trigger it from the demand side, in that we get to attract buyers that are interested in buying food. Doesn't matter whether they are local or international. And then once you receive the business, you are in position to actually trickle that business down to the farmers in terms of demanding for the produce that you need. Then the farmers will demand for the inputs to actually grow that specific food that is probably required for that particular market. And then it means the farmers will demand for the inputs, and then that's where the input suppliers come in to feed those inputs that that have been verified by Ministry of Agriculture to be able to be used in production. So what are the requirements for you to start trading on the platform as an importer? So I'm starting off from the buyer side, like I said, from the top. So we move down where it starts, where probably it ends. I know that's where in real things, that's where it would start, but it has been a problem whereby people are growing without actually understanding the demand. So it has always been starting from production. That's what most people think, that actually you should first produce and later on figure out where you can sell. But for us, we are making it easy and also making it in a unique way that it should actually start from the demand side. You should know what the buyer will buy, such that you are able to produce that quality which can attract you that premium price. Yeah. Then you starting off with producing, and then you start looking for the market, because that has been the biggest challenge for the producers. Who are the farmers? So the requirements for an importer or food buyer, let it be local or regional or overseas. Number one, when you register on the platform, of course I'll do for you a live demo. For now, I'm just giving you the requirements. When you register on the platform, you are in position to upload and also submit. When you register on FAMUNERA, you are actually a normal user. But if you want to be an export or an importer as a buyer or food buyer, whether locally or from the international market, you must upload and submit these documents below. The certificate of incorporation, meaning that you are actually a registered business. Then secondly, an import license. Yeah. If you're a local buyer, that means you are actually submitting your business trading license, that you are also a business that is legit. Then thirdly, the tax identification number certificate, such that we can be able to do the first due diligence on you before we actually approve you to actually be a verified buyer on FAMUNERA. Then you as a supplier, you are in position to do your further due diligence, the second DD and the third, whatever diligences you do after that. But for us, this is the first we do. But it's not, I want to make this clear that it's not, should also do your own, yeah? So once we approve this person, they are ready to be verified exporters on the platform. Then secondly, the food exporter. For you to be upgraded from just a normal user on the platform to actually a verified exporter, you upload and submit on FAMUNERA the certificate of registration to verify you are a legit business, you are formalized, and then an export license from Uganda Export Promotion Board, yeah, and then also, of course, UEPB works hand in hand with MAIF. Then the tax identification number, that's from URA, and then you must, according to UEPB's Uganda Export Promotion is the recent, so not the recent, but it requires every exporter to be a member of an association. So I would love to probably make sure that before you leave here, those that are not members of Hot Fresh, I mean, talk to them, find out how they can best help you, because it's a requirement for you to be an exporter on FAMUNERA. And generally, for you to be an exporter in the country, as far as I know in Uganda, you must be a member of any of the verified exporters association. And you have Hot Fresh with you here. So then the requirements for the input suppliers. So these people that I'm mentioning, these are the parties that we require on the platform to be doing business on the platform. Then for the requirements for you to be an input supplier on FAMUNERA, number one, you must be an FPO. I told you initially, FAMUNERA was the ultimate supplier of inputs between 2016 to 2022 as of June, in that if a farmer ordered for inputs, they order on the marketplace, FAMUNERA would deliver directly from our own stores. But now, we decentralized the inputs distribution, and we are having inputs distributed at the FPO level. Why? They are near to the farmers. Secondly, we need to capture data from that point when the farmer buys any input. That is when we want to start capturing data and making sure we make sense of the data, predicting the potential yield, predicting when the yield will be out, all that information, which is very key for us to streamline the supply chain, especially for the exporters and the buyers. So you must be an FPO. An FPO, any farmer produce organization, of course they fall in different, they have different names that you well know. There are those FPO that are called cooperatives. There are those that are called associations. There are those that are called federations. Maybe I'll bring it from the bottom. When farmers form their form a clique of less than 30, or before they go to become legalized or formalized to register formally, it's a farmer group. When they decide to go and register formally, if they are making 30 members, they turn out to be, they register as a cooperative. Of course, for you to register as a cooperative, you must have 30 people with you. Then a group of cooperatives, or a group of farmers can form a cooperative. Then a group of cooperative can form association. So normally at district level here in Uganda, if you go to Masaka District Farmer Association or Mbale District Farmer Association or Buyende, so it means they have put different cooperatives together to form an association. Then associations form federations. So if you hear of Uganda National Farmers Federation, that means they are housing different district farmer associations. So the whole point, you must be a farmer produce organization falling in any of those calibers. But down below at the farmer group level, at least you must be formalized at a district level. Because normally districts issue out certificates for you to be a registered farmer group, and then we can allow you to trade inputs on FAMUNERA. Then, of course, certificate of incorporation or registration or business registration. Your business must be registered. Then the tax identification number certificate, you must have documents from Ministry of Agriculture that actually grant you the right to trade inputs because they are mandated to regulate this. So the other caliber of users that I've not mentioned here, probably we all know. I wouldn't want to mention them. I wouldn't love to bring them here because the way how FAMUNERA operates is that actually the food exporter here is in position to actually feed in these people, the farmers. And also the farmer produce organization, they're supposed to be able to feed in, to profile these farmers on the platform. But of course the farmer contribute to be the underlying base of production. So I'll come to them later on. So this is the marketplace. I'll start off with the marketplace. FAMUNERA currently runs 2 services. Later on, we shall be able to communicate the 3rd service when it matures. But for now, we are running 2 services. That is the digital marketplace, where the trading and buying of farm inputs and produce happens. And also the other services, the digital traceability. All these services currently are free of charge until when we shall communicate the rates, but we are boosting for you for free of charge for now. Meaning that get on board, find value, and later on when we choose to ask something little, you'll actually decide whether you continue with the service or not. I'm definitely very sure you'll be willing to, because whether you like it or not, there is nobody who is the best in this game than FAMUNERA. And I underline that. So there is none. And this is the marketplace. So we're going to be doing a live demo of how you, a food supplier, can be able to have your products displayed on the marketplace. So I'm sure you all have the manuals. We are starting with, you can open up to the 2nd. So there is this first page, but you're going to open up to where you see the middle. And we're going to be looking at that, which is called FAMUNERA Marketplace. So step 1, register as a user. I'm sure everyone has a computer, has a laptop, has a tablet. Kindly just try it out. You may just let's do it live. So I'm sure you're all there. So go to www.famunera.com. Let me know when you're there. www.famunera.com. So this is the live marketplace. So go to your browser, let it be Google or Mozilla, whatever browser you use. Then you type in, let it be Google Chrome or what, just type, or Safari, just type in www.famunera.com. Oh, not showing. It's not showing. Sorry for the previous presentations. Didn't realize, I was focusing here. I didn't realize you weren't viewing. Yeah, but I'll be able to share them again. So, but let's go ahead and be sure everyone is at FAMUNERA. So what you do is, as the booklet says, visit www.famunera.com, select account. If you are using a mobile phone, on the right top of the website, that's where you'll find the menu for where you can access that. Then if you're using a laptop, still it's right there, the account. So select, you can go on that menu, on the right top menu, because the left top menu, if you're using a mobile phone, is for categories. So if you go to the right menu, you are able to access account down below. So select account, select register. Then for those that are using a mobile phone, I think you can easily access the register button right there. So just click that. Then if you are using a computer or a bigger screen, I'm sure it's giving you a desktop layout. So you also select register. Yes, actually on the mobile phone, clearly the register button is there. So enter the details as requested by the system. Obviously, you register, you fill in the name, the email address, and then you fill in the phone number and a secure password. For the other users like the farmers, email is optional, but for the exporters, both the food suppliers, it's a must to have an email, at least because you'll need communication probably beyond just a mobile phone. So are we done with that? The name, the phone number, the email, password, then you select your gender. Obviously you're a company, because by default, we don't assume that the exporters or these people who are trading business, or are doing business are not registered. We need formalized players. So when you do that, kindly let me know if you've successfully been able to do so. If you haven't, I know some of the people here are already registered with us. If you register with the same details, the system will tell you you already exist, but you can try out using probably a different account. That's if you are not already registered with FAMUNERA. But if you are, you can use your already existing account. You just log in. Are we done? Any issue? We can be able to support, because we just don't want to leave anyone to live here when they are not activated, especially the food exporters. We're done. So, if you're done, just go to my shop. You'll be able to see it right there. The reason why you saw mine already showing my shop was because I was already logged in. But if you are not logged into your account, because me, I'm using a testing account, you can only access account and borrow a basket. After you register and log, obviously you already logged in, or when you have an existing account and you log in, that's when you can access my shop. In case you have an issue, our team behind there, Nathan and Baker, will be able to guide accordingly. So let's go forward. So select there is step 2, access your digital store. So you select my shop. After you select my shop, select my products. It will give you a drop down. and then you select my products. Don't know. So when you're there, select my products. It will give you a function. It will bring you an interface where somewhere it is giving you an option to add a product. So since I'm sure those that are already running accounts, of course, you'll just view already existing products. And if you need to add another one, but those that haven't registered any product, you can be able to click on that button, add product. Once you click on that button, add product, you can be able to actually put in all the details that are required. That means the product name, the FAMUNERA, that functionality gives you an option to either put up a fixed price or what we call actual price, and also it gives you an option to put up a price range. A price range is meant for people that don't want to communicate out the clear price because of the variances in probably if someone orders for many, maybe you have a different price for that. If someone orders less quantity, you have a different price. So you can use the price range function. But if whether someone orders huge volumes or less volumes, it's the same price, it's better you communicate the actual price. Then how the single price function works, the price range function works, if someone out there sees your products and they are interested in them, they will actually opt to order for them and request for a quotation. That means you get a notification, and then under received, once you check on my shop, there is an option for received orders, and also received quotations. It will come and it will tell that person to add in the quantities that they require to purchase from you. Then you will receive that with information that this buyer wants to buy this volume of the products. And then you reply back on that same quotation request with the actual price that you want to offer based on the quantities they want to buy. And then they will redeem that price on their end to actually place an order with you. Or you can take the conversation offline and have negotiations here and there, terms of trade and all that. Then you come back, you let that person place their order right on the platform. Why? It is important for you to be able to track and do the traceability. So I have an issue here with this cable, finding it hard. But yes, so let me know if at all the market, the product, so on that function of other products, you put the product name, the price, you put up the image, featured image, that means that image that you want to appear first. Then there is an option for other images, meaning in case someone wants to check the photos or pictures of the same product, you can put several images under other images. Then on the same platform, on the same page, it offers you an opportunity to add a demo video. But you must have uploaded that demo video on a YouTube channel. Then you pick that link, you add it there. Why? Such that probably you want to show how you pack your mangoes in the pack house, or how you are doing something that related to this particular product you want to supply, such that with a demo video, it adds more value and more evidence that actually you are doing the right thing when it comes to whatever you are trying to sell. So it is for your own good, whereby not only the images, because you might have gotten the images probably from somewhere, but at least with the demo video showing probably how you are processing, you are cleaning and sorting these mangoes from the farmers. They have arrived, you are cleaning them, you are sorting them, you are packing them. Any process that is related to how this product comes up to be that product. I mean, it's very important to help the buyer make decisions on whatever they are trying to do to probably buy from you. So they can easily watch it first, just that product, and then down there they can be able to access that preview video. They click on it, they're able to watch it, and probably get that proof that, okay, this is real. On that same page, it offers you an opportunity to add a unit of measurement, whether you are selling in per kilograms or per metric ton. And so where you see packaging or packaging, that means it requires you to put a number, whether it is one or you are packing per one kilo or per 500. So you add that number, whether it is 1, then unit of measurement you select, whether kilogram, that means 1 kilogram. The packaging is 1, then the unit of measurement is kilogram. Or it is 500, some pack in probably 500, then it can be 500, then you come select the unit of measurement as grams, 500 grams, or 500 kilograms, or 1 metric ton. So after that, you go down on the same page, you are able to see where you add the description, where you add the return policy. Obviously, if you don't allow returns, you can put not applicable. Then under descriptions, you describe about what you are selling. Probably these are mangoes grown from the Pearl of Africa. They are yellow. I mean, descriptions about what you are selling in words. Then there is warranty. Of course, if you don't have warranty for your food, because maybe it doesn't apply, then you say not applicable. And then after that, you click, I think, either new or fresh or old. And then, of course, it is always fresh or new. Then you click submit. As the administrators of the platform, we are in position to see this. Is it hot for you people? Turn on an AC here. So as the administrators of the platform, we are in position to review everything. We review, and then we confirm that the images are clear before we can approve them on the marketplace to appear to the public. If there is some information we need to guide you on whether to probably add other products that are better, add other images or more clear images, we give you the advice. And then finally, if everything is okay, the information is okay, we approve them, and then they start appearing on the marketplace. Our job as FAMUNERA is to bring the business to your digital store. The buyers to view your products, and they contact you and check you out, and they contact you. And how we bring in that, we don't share your sensitive information like phone numbers and emails to the public. Why? To avoid scammers. So what happens is that either they contact FAMUNERA first, or they can use a function for send inquiry, so that you first have that initial conversation right on the platform using the messaging application or function. And then you are able to share your own contact. Yes, it's available on your profile, but we don't publicly share it out there. It is not viewable because we are limiting who can contact you. And only those buyers who went through the other process that I mentioned, where they submitted their certificate of incorporation, import license, and we did the first due diligence, are the ones that are able to contact you because we have verified them. These that just come on the platform, register, and then they don't go through that first due diligence process, they cannot be able to contact you, because we want people that we first screened out at least to first do that first due diligence to contact you. Then after they contact you, you do your second due diligence and further, because at least we've done the first work for you, but it's your liability. It's not our liability in case you don't make the right decisions after there. That's why we don't share your phone number or email publicly, such that you don't receive this traffic of con men and scammers. Yeah. So at least that's what the best we do for you. So let me know if you have any issue regarding how to use the marketplace to upload a product. Actually, that is the same approach that an FPO that we've assigned to supply inputs on ground goes through as well. But your case, as an exporter or food supplier, the category you choose to display your products, I'm sure you've seen them. You choose agro-produce, then you go to the second category, you choose food. If you are selling plant food, you choose plant food. If you are selling meat and animal food, you choose animal food. And if there is no category for you there, you choose other categories. But I'm very sure with plant and food and animal, someone must be falling there for the clusters currently we are working with. So with you, I think most of you are FFV. You must be falling under the plant food. Then those that are doing fisheries, meat, you are falling under animal food. So you click and submit that, and then for us we review and approve accordingly. So let me know if there is any clarification you need for that, and then to I'll go on to the traceability. Maybe you'll aggregate the questions together. Then we can be able to come back and you shoot at once, both for the marketplace and the digital traceability tool.
Participants, do we proceed or you have some questions? Do you have some questions so far? Yes.
Thank you. Mine is not a question, it's just a concern. I've been trying to log in for the past many minutes. I've failed to. It's showing me that my details are already for an existing account. So when I try to reset password, it still doesn't. So what do I do?
Thank you, Julius. Mine is on the specifications here. There is where we see return policy. What does it mean?
My question is, it's not about the logging in. It's about the operational business at the FAMUNERA platform. I just have a concern about your. I don't know if that's the right time to ask this. It's about prices. Is it okay? Is it the right forum? Is it the right place to ask this? The prices. Okay. Mine is about the prices. I've taken time to study your prices, and I see some prices seem to be either too low. Somebody can't make a profit. How do you expose the cost price of maybe a farm gate price? Let's say you are buying a kilo of okra at 2.5, and then you are exposing 2.5 the international market. How does a businessman benefit from this kind of prices? And do you think you seem to consult with the trading partners and before you put some of these prices? Some of the prices are not are very unrealistic, are very low that you cannot make profit out of it. Thank you.
Thank you. My observation is that the available buyers for the products that are available on the website seem to be Ugandans. Are we going to be selling to only Ugandans who do the export again? Because the rates are all Ugandan shillings and rated at farm gate prices.
Let me answer.
My question is, okay, it seems like the system is only for buyers and sellers. And you talked about the requirements to be a buyer and a seller on this platform. So what if I am just an individual located somewhere in Kampala and I want some things? Can't I buy from FAMUNERA platform? Thank you.
I received a code on my email as a FAMUNERA code, and incidentally, I clicked on it and I deleted it before noting it down. Am I able to get that code returned? And what is the intention of that code?
Take note of the.
Yes. So regarding the registration, one of our team members assisted you. Okay. So we are going to be able to maybe some information was missing during registration, but that should be working quite well. Then regarding the return policy, normally businesses have such arrangements where they probably have a return policy in case someone complains about the product. Maybe they allow you to bring it back, and then, but what I know about in the food business, especially fresh, it doesn't apply. Yeah? So that's where I say that for you, I'm very sure it should be not applicable. However, for some types of food, whether packed or, dried or processed, processed food or processed juice, certain things apply. So meaning that for you specifically in fresh, I don't think that applies. But it depends on your return policy as a company that is selling that commodity, that food commodity. So if it applies, you put it up. Then the prices. The question was around the prices look to be very low. Like I said, this platform allows you as an exporter to decide to target local customers as well, or even target international buyers. Our job as FAMUNERA, we don't dictate what price you put up to sell your product. This is one of, to be sure, this is one of the products that were put up by one of the exporting companies, yeah, called Wafa. And I can see one product that I must have checked. One of them is Wafa, and one of them is, another one is Yonkai. Then others, I'll need to check out. But it's what they offer. Because we don't, like I said, we don't put up what you didn't put up. And we take through the review process and we ask, is this okay? Should we display it up? Then you confirm. So maybe they target the local buyer, then probably, or they target the local buyer, and maybe tomorrow they will probably want to sell, to probably sell, put another price. But I know every company probably it has its own buyer that probably, depending on the negotiations they have, that's what they offer. So we can't dictate on that. Maybe someone is selling to European market, which probably is able to pay a higher price. But I know from my experience from the Middle Eastern market, I know they want the lowest prices. And actually, they want the lowest prices among all markets. So who knows, maybe they are targeting buyers from the Middle East. So now that is their own answer to answer, but for us, we make sure they know, because they are in the business, and meaning they know what they are offering and what price they are offering. So we can't really dictate on that. But the whole point is that everybody puts up their own price. If someone is not willing to share the actual price, they can put up a price range to say probably 1,000 to 2,000. What I see here, these must have been priced in metric tons, MT, as you can see. These are in a metric ton, but you are free to also price per kilogram, per gram, so depending on the units that you sell in. But like I said, the power is in your hand as an exporter or as a food supplier to put up your price that you're willing to sell, depending on which market you target. Then the currency, you see that the prices are in UGX. Yes, we are going to be able to make sure we can put for you an automated currency converter. However, by default, if you're in another country, let me say I'm in France, I can actually be able to convert these prices in euros. The system is able to convert this in euros. It can ask if you want it. It gets to ask which location you're in. Of course, it finds out the location you're in by default. Then it asks you if you want to see the prices in any currency, depending on which country you're in. However, we shall also just put a price converter for you somewhere, because that's in one of our upgrades. Make sure you have a price converter that even if you are in Uganda, you can be able to actually change and see how it would look like in euros or in US dollars. However, the person in another country, by default, they can view it in their own currency. Individuals, it was around, if you're an individual, you're not a business, you're not a formalized company or a formalized entity, you're an individual. Yes, farmers are basically individuals. So if you're an individual and you want to buy inputs, because for individuals, that's what I'm very sure works for them, the inputs, the seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, we actually direct you to one of our input suppliers on ground, depending on the location you're in. If you are in Masaka, initially it used to be FAMUNERA, you order for inputs, we deliver to you from our central hub. But now that we decentralize the distribution of inputs, you tell us your location, and we are in position to actually assign you an input to actually guide you on which input dealer is closest to you, so you can walk there and get the inputs. But like I said, these are all FPOs that we have assigned, we have approved to actually work on FAMUNERA as input suppliers. Obviously, hand in hand with the regulators who are actually regulating them. So our job is to provide the marketplace where they can trade and punch in the information whenever anybody walks into their shop to order for seeds, fertilizers, so that if they do everything right from the platform using their own administrative interface. So, to let you know, individuals can be able to buy stuff. Actually, an individual can also buy from an exporter if they are happy. Although that if you are going to be a buyer and you want to turn out to be a buyer for food, it means you have to go through the other approach I mentioned of really putting up everything. Because for food, we are targeting B2B. Yeah? Then for inputs, it is B2C, which means the business to the consumer who is the farmer. Then return code. You received a code. I think the gentleman received, has moved out. So maybe I'll answer that when he pops out. But if you had the same issue somewhere, for that code, it is meant for you to, if you are using a phone, you registered using only the phone number without an email, you have to verify that on your phone number. Confirm your account that it is real. Because if a person put up a phone number, it means we want to check, do you own that number? Meaning you must be with your phone. If you put up someone else's number, that means it's not your phone number. So if you have your own phone number, it means you verify that using that. Yeah, let me move to the digital traceability. So the digital traceability is here from the beginning. So I'll put up a simple demonstration of how it looks like. Maybe the other question is, how does FAMUNERA get for us market? Yeah, because, so I mentioned, I want to share this. If anybody can see this screen here, I'm sure everybody knows the name Fruit Logistica. Have you heard about these players? It is the world's biggest import and export expo for fruits and vegetables. FAMUNERA was there last year. We are also going back this year in February. It's in the first week from 8th to 10th. Our job is to market your products so that you can attract business on the platform. That's why we want you, everybody who is a food supplier here, we really want you to have your products live on the marketplace. I'm sure we've just done a demo. Maybe you put up one product as a sample. We really want to offer you even post-workshop support so that we have all your products showcased. Whether you are putting up actual prices or price ranges, it is okay. Such that when we arrive, because we're already running adverts on these platforms and we are going there physically, we want to make sure the traffic we bring for this buyer from these expos comes directly to you people who have their products showcased on the marketplace, such that you can be able to generate export business leads. Then I know you've heard about, or you know about Gulf Food. Still, they are our partners, so we market there. Still, it is one of the biggest, for it, it's general, not only fruits and vegetables, it's general. Even machinery and all that. So we market there, and we are heading there still in February, in the last week, physically as well, such that still, if your product, but it's in the Middle East, it's in the Gulf. So it is the biggest in the Gulf market. It happens in Dubai every year, and we're heading there. Fruit Logistica takes place in Berlin, in Germany. We're heading there. So we want your products to be live, such that once we bring these leads, they come directly to you, and then you do business with legit and verified buyers. So that is what we do. Also, in general business, even if these expos are not happening, although for us we market throughout the year, and then on the D-Day of the actual event, we show up physically, but still we market across using different digital channels. We use Google AdSense. We market on Expo platforms. We market everywhere. We use social media platforms. We market your products across every media that we know can bring you business. So that's just because nobody posed that question. I wanted to make sure I can be able to highlight on it. Also, locally here, I'm sure you've heard us run adverts, especially when we used to supply the inputs directly from our central hub. We've been able to hear adverts under on radio, community radios in different parts of the country. And right now, we are running a partnership with Farm Radio International there. And we are actually still doing the same across the country. And so our partners, we are able to actually promote what we are doing and also make sure we get down the information to all the users last mile. So let me go straight to the digital traceability tool. Okay. So since you're already having an account, I'm sure you're already in and logged in. This is here, if you look at screen one, go to your menu. If you're using a phone, you click on the right-hand menu, and then you'll see a link called Traceability. Or if you're using a desktop version, meaning using a laptop, you'll be able to see it on app right somewhere, Traceability. So once you click on that, you are in position to be taken to the screen that shows these different cards. Yes? Can't see it. No. No, we are now talking about the different product. No. It's just a different service because we moved away from the marketplace. But right on the menu, you can easily access. Okay, let me head there. Okay, so if you look at the top right bar, you'll see home, promotions, sell product, traceability. So are you able to see that? Meaning that maybe you are not logged in. Did you really create an account?
Good afternoon. So once again, that traceability is a tool which enables an exporter or an importer to trace the value chain. So unless the system has verified you having submitted the documents initially you talked about, the certificates, okay, you will not access it. You're just a normal user on the system. So that's why you're all, yeah, that's why you're all seeing that it's the same.
You can't access this tool. But because I'm using our own testing account, I'll show you how it looks like when we upgrade you into an aggregator. Yeah. On the phone, you'll be able to access it, a menu, right-hand menu. Then on a computer like this kind of view, we're able to, when you click on it, you'll be able to access the different value chain. That means primary production, produce bulking, produce delivery, then sorting, processing and packaging, then consignment, shipment, and customers. So this is the flow that I showed in the previous presentation. So primary production is stage number 1. Let me put up this, something small. We have a problem with the HDMI. So I want to, you saw those 6 cards, and actually they are the cards that you can see here under food, FAMUNERA food traceability. So there is a card in one. When you click on traceability link, like how I did, you're able to see those cards: primary production, produce bulking, produce delivery, sorting, processing and packaging, then shipment, then customers. So I want to use this as you view it here, and then I want you to look at what you have in the guide. So what happens at stage 1, which I mentioned, primary production, because that's stage number 1. You as an exporter, once we have upgraded you on our platform as an aggregator, once you have submitted the relevant documentation, we upgrade you as an aggregator, you are able to access this tool, the traceability. So at stage number 1, which is primary production, I'll do a live demo. You are able to feed in, if you can look at data collected, you are able to feed in farmer code. That is the code that you've been able to, that has been issued in the Ministry of Agriculture. Sorry, you are able to start profiling your farmers, who are your outgrowers that are supposed to feed you with the raw materials. Because every exporter, if you're in the business, you're already having farmers you work with. So you are in position to profile them at that point. And then the data that is captured, you are able to feed in a farmer code per farmer. And that must have come from Ministry of Agriculture, meaning your farmer should be able to provide you with their farmer code. We don't issue farmer codes because that's why we have a partnership with MAIF, because that is their mandate. That's not our mandate. So you fill in the farmer code and also biodata information, which I'm going to demonstrate to you live. So the biodata is the name, information that is really that personal for that person, the name, date of birth, and all that information. And then the farm data information, That is data related to the farm itself, the acreage, all that, the crops they grow. And then, so that is collected at the primary stage. Then stage 2 comes in when you start bulking the product from the time T comes when you need the produce. Then you look at your list of people, of farmers you profiled earlier, and then you are able to start confirming who should supply you. Then you pull them over, because you might have over 500 farmers you profiled on the platform. But maybe out of those, there are only 20 that have confirmed can supply you. So you pull them over to stage 2, meaning that these are the ones that you've screened out are going to give you what you need. And if you have a product and you feel that the supply is not sufficient from already those that have confirmed, you are free to contact FAMUNERA, and FAMUNERA will tag you with other farmers that by default are been purchasing inputs all the way back, not those that were profiled by other exporters. And to be clear, every exporter or every aggregator, let it be an FPO, a farmer cooperative, or a farmer association, or you, the traders, if you use our platform to profile your farmers, nobody else, no other aggregator can be able to access them. You get me? That is your own data. And even us, we don't have the function to match them to other aggregators. So the farmers we tag you with are those farmers that have been purchasing inputs all the way since 2016, and we know they are in the business of, let me say, farming cabbages. And yet you don't have enough supply among those that you are already working with. Then we tag you with those. And we have even the right to untag them. Oh, sorry, if you are tired of them, or you, for some reasons, you are not in position to work together, or for some reasons, either your own reasons or their own reasons, you are free to untag them from your. But those that you already profiled as your farmers, they are yours because already you have that relationship for a long time. So, I'll go to a live demo. Sorry, then it moves to stage 3, where you move this product from the farm, from the aggregation point to your pack house. Then at pack house, whatever happens there, it's all captured. Then you move them to the freight. Then they move them to the customers. So the mark where you see stage 6, that's where your customers sit. You either profile them on the platform, because that's where the buyer's company data is captured. You actually able to profile them there. And even those ones that are new, that FAMUNERA is able to attract, they are able to be stored right at stage 6. So I'll do a live demo for the functionality for primary production, because I'm sure that's from here, that's the most important tool you're going to start with. And then later on, I can be able to answer some questions regarding the other stages, or we can be able to do it later on when you probably need a one-on-one with our technical team. So let me do a live demo. So because for me, our testing account is already upgraded into an aggregator, I can access this. So I'll click right on Start Tracing here. You'll excuse me, sometimes this HDMI has an issue here. So I don't. So we're going to start with the stage number 1, which is primary production. So you click on, I'll go back to show you how this button, Start Tracing, works. Actually, this button, Start Tracing, you see here, it's HTML. So this button here, Start Tracing, works when you have received an order, after you've negotiated with your buyer and you've agreed on the terms of trade, then you tell them to punch in the order right on the platform. Once you go under My Shop here, you are able to see received orders. Once you go under Received Orders, you are able to find a button that says Start Tracing. And then you use it to, once you click on it, it will start to trace from primary production, the information as you move it to produce bulking. But let me go directly to primary production where you start profiling your already existing network of farmers. So you click on primary production, and this is where you start filling in all the information that is related to each farmer, like I mentioned, from stage 1 under primary production. So you need to capture the biodata, that is the farmer, the farmer name, the farmer ad location. You capture even the farm data around the acreage and everything. So once you click Add Aggregate, Add Outgrower, so this is the information you are able to capture on this farmer. You are able to add their name, you are able to add the email, able to add the gender of this farmer. They don't have an email, this is optional, but at least the phone number is a must. Already by default, it has +256, so you just add on the other numbers, the phone number, the farm acreage, after you've probably confirmed their acreage size, then create the password for this particular farmer. Why? The truth is that every account you profile on the platform is an actual account. Every farmer you create on the platform, you add on the platform is an actual account. Because themselves will be able to go somewhere near the shops that we recommend them for inputs, and those people that are going to serve them with the inputs will need to attach that information to an account that is existing in the system. That's why there are accounts that are these are actual accounts that are being created for the farmers. And also they verify their phone numbers right after when you are profiling them. So you add their profile picture here, if it is there. If it's not yet there, of course, you can do that later on. But the most important thing is the name, email, gender, acreage, phone number, country, password. Other profiling fields are coming up. For instance, date of birth. We're going to be able to create more data points such that you can always be able to update them accordingly. And so it can be able to give us more information using our artificial intelligence system to be able to predict so much in terms of the information that is required. So I'll go back here. So after you profile these people, after you add that particular outgrower or the farmer, the information will show up under enrolled outgrowers. Internet is a bit not good here. So, yes. So these are samples of the already enrolled users these are just testing accounts. So those that you added yourself, they go under enrolled outgrowers here. And that's why you see some names here and some information here. Then they must have confirmed the type of crop they are willing to supply, because they might be farming over 6 crops. One farmer might be farming like 5 crops, but they are only willing to commercialize or sell to you 1 crop or 3 crops. So where you see the crop, where you see this title crop, that's where those different crops that they are willing to supply display. Where you see the farm location, that is the location of that farm, of that particular outgrower. Where you see the name, of course, that's their name, and the contact is their phone number. When you click on View on this button here, you are able to see their full profile. let me probably sample. So once you are able to click on the view, you can access other details. You can be able to feed in as well. You are able to access residence, probably by district, national ID number. You can punch it here. You can also be able to fill in other information regarding the farm code. It's right here. You can also add in the date of birth. Then, yeah, basically you can be able to access more information, and probably if you need to edit and add more information for them, you can be able to fill out the entire profile. And then that is those that you've added yourself. Then we have, if you look down on the same page, you are able to see the tagged outgrowers. These are outgrowers that when you are short of supply, there are those farmers that are approaching FAMUNERA individually, whereby you know the one who profiled them, but they approached on the platform to purchase inputs. And one of the FPOs down there on ground has been able to punch them into the system as they are supplying them inputs. But because they have confirmed which crop they want to supply, and it's that crop that you would like us to probably match you with some suppliers, we are able to tag you with some farmers that are interested in supplying that crop. And so you can easily access them here and actually contact them to supply you as well. So meaning you have created your own supply database on the platform, as well FAMUNERA is feeding you with more suppliers that are relevant to that particular demand that you need. Maybe you have a demand of 10 metric tons, but your network, your own network, which outgrowers, I say that nobody else can access them because they are yours. It's your own information you added, and you own it. So meaning that those, maybe if they can only supply 6 metric tons, and probably the 4 you demand that FAMUNERA can be able to assist you, then we can tag you with the others that you can be able to reach out and be able to have them supply you. So that is it. So I'll be quick. I want to go to stage number 2 to show you the entire process. Let us first work with the first stage, which is primary production, because before we move into bulking and all that, produce delivery, sorting, I'll just run you through what you can do there, because in the interest of time. But at least primary production stage is the most important, because that's where the foundation happens, right from you profiling your farmers. Even the FPOs that are supplying inputs, they are also punching in information, which information we are able to tag with you later on when you demand more suppliers of those commodities that you require. So it is where the most important activity happens, because it feeds the information everywhere until when the products reach your customers. So for this, in the interest of time, I'll just run through what happens at every other stage, and then can move to the next program and that can have lunch and we leave. So what happens at stage 2? After the time comes up and you want to purchase inputs from your farmers that are you already profiled on the platform, you actually contact a few, or you can push a single message, yeah, and then you request for supply from them. Or you can actually call one by one, depending on the approach you want. But on FAMUNERA, you can push out communication to all of them. If they are profiled phone numbers, they are able to receive that notification that our aggregator or our off-taker needs supply on Saturday. Those that can confirm, but for you, you know your own methods, how you approach your farmers to confirm that they can deliver. Because you already own the list, you see it right on your interface when you log in. So your outgrowers, you contact them. Then those that confirm that they can supply, you move them. FAMUNERA has the capability to to select them, and then you move them to stage number 2, meaning they appear at produce bulking stage, which is stage 2. Meaning that out of the entire pool of 1,000, let me say that you have profiled, maybe only 20 have confirmed that for this particular consignment you have today, or you have to deliver over the weekend, 20 can have confirmed to supply. So you select them and you move them to stage 2. Once they appear there, still their information comes along with them. That means the farmer code, as you can see it there, the biodata, everything that comes along to that stage. Then they are able, either you know your approach, basically sometimes exporters are able to ask these people to bring the produce to their pack houses or warehouses, or if you own your own truck, you can go and collect them. So at the point that you go and collect that, the information of the transporter who has gone to collect that is able to be captured. In the case that they are the ones that have delivered themselves, still you are able to capture the information of the transporter. So transporter, biodata, vehicle data, quantity transported. Or you have finally measured and received at your pack house. So stage 4, you start doing the work that's supposed to happen in the pack house. That is sorting, processing. For those that are doing drying, they do the little processing, and then later on you pack. So all the information that around the pack house, because at this stage 4 you must have profiled the pack house you are working with. And obviously it must have been approved by Minister of Agriculture. Especially those, you know it. So you profile all the pack house data there. Stage number 3, I said you profile all the transporters you work with, and even those that your farmers use to deliver to you. Whenever they show up, maybe it's someone new, you must profile them and also feed them into the system. For that particular consignment, because it has to show all that information later on at stage 6 when it is required. By either the regulator, who is probably MAIF, by either the buyer who wants to know how my goods moved, by anybody in later stage T, maybe the financial wants to get to know this information. Then at the pack house, you do the sorting, the processing, and packaging. So you feed in the information about the pack house. Maybe it's already existing because I know you're already in the business. So meaning you must have profiled this information right there. Before even you started anything, let me say even trying to bulk from the farmers, I'm sure you'll have to fill in that information already there. And then MAIF shows up, they issue the inspection reports. You add these documents right there at that stage. You add in even other relevant information. Don't forget all the transactional information that's happening right from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, they are being uploaded on the system along the way. As the produce is moving, the documentation is also being captured. So if they deliver to you and you didn't pay in cash, you put that information there. Maybe it's normally a delivery note, or that you are being demanded money by the farmers. For those that are using credit arrangements with your farmers, if you paid them cash, you attach those documents at every stage. By default, our system adds a transactional document called a receipt at stage 1 when the farmer purchases inputs. So you realize at stage 2, when you start purchasing them, it's either you issue them your own, you attach your own documents that you have as a company. So then at stage 4, where the pack house or warehouse is, you attach even other relevant information, the certification that have been issued by MAIF, that's inspection reports, then probably the transactional reports if the pack house is pay as you go, or if you own it, of course you don't need to attach there. Or you can attach the other costs that are related to that particular consignment, probably at your own pack house. Yeah? And then maybe electricity bills or water bills. And then at stage 5, this is where you had profiled all the information about your freight company that you are working with. And you can either choose to just select them, or you can add them at that point when you are delivering that particular consignment, if they are not existing. So at 6 stage, you must have profiled your customers, or those customers that FAMUNERA has been able to pull over for you. When they order for anything on the platform, by default, the system adds them there at that stage. So what you see after here, the QR code on each product, normally this is put on the box that you are delivering to the customer per order, per box, or whatever, how you pack your goods. So if you want them on your tin or whatever, but you attach it there. Then you have an option to also share just a link about that particular consignment, how it has moved. So when it comes to food traceability, the regulator is interested in knowing how did your food move, which farmer was responsible for supplying what quantity, and what inputs did they use. Meaning that, don't forget, we have that information already captured from the beginning when the farmer purchased inputs. So it's already existing. And then it comes along the way up to this side. The buyer in the export market, probably even if it's a local buyer on the local market, is interested in knowing, is the food safe? Who are these people that you've been working with that put this consignment together? So all this information, how the food moved from stage 1 to stage 6, is able to be proven by just giving them access using either a QR code or by giving them access using a link. And you can choose to accept which stage you want to share the information. Maybe the bank only is interested in looking at the information with the farmers. You can only share that. Maybe one of the people that you are working with, whether the buyer or the regulator, is interested in only looking at stage 4. You can also choose to share only information, the link that can give information to only that stage. Or maybe they are interested in viewing the entire value chain from stage 1 to stage 6. Still, you can share that particular link or QR code. So that is the logic behind this. And with this, I can guarantee you the bank is in a position to lend you money without having to ask you the collaterals they have been asking you. We have partners that have signed up to provide you with capital basing on this without having to rely on asking you the property, your house, your land. Sometimes some exporters don't have this. So with this information in hand, because the financier is trying to de-risk the money they need to give you, but if they have proof that what you are claiming that you are working with farmers or 1,000 farmers, this information can easily be accessed by you just sharing them with just a link or a QR code to scan and look at this information to prove that you are in business. If you are telling them that you received a consignment of 10 metric tons and this order is already appearing on the platform, and you can give them access to stage number 6 to that particular link of that order, they already have proof that this is real and it's happening. So they can easily unlock for you capital without having to ask you for so much. When it comes to the regulator, the information is clear. And to be also specific on that, here we are working in partnership with already existing systems. If MyIF decides to roll out its system, FAMUNERA is willing to feed data to these players because MyIF is interested in this information. So FAMUNERA is willing to feed this information to MyIF because to ease in their work. And also, if they need to feed us with any information as well, we shall be able to have it because our system is integratable. It's an API fully application programming interface. By default, it is integratable on every system. Let it be anyway, as long as they are relevant to the exporter and they are going to be able to assist you to grow your business. Then when it comes to players like UEPB, Uganda Export Promotion Board, they can easily, if they need to access anything, you can give them the opportunity to access your information. Don't forget, it's not FAMUNERA that shares this information. You have the right to share your information to whoever you feel you want to share it with. But we are not the ones that do what? That share it out. You share it based on who has asked it from you and based on if you are interested, meaning you have full control of either sharing it or not sharing it. All we do is that you have an infrastructure a digital platform where you are doing all this and you have proof of whatever you are doing and it's backed up by evidence and data. So the buyer, whatever they need to know, they can access it here. So this is what FAMUNERA has for you. And like I said, we are going for a run 2023. We need to make sure every big import and export event that's happening around the world, we are there. And why we are there? Because we want to bring in as much business as you can take on. Because we are independent, our interests are not to have it for ourselves. We are not competing with you. We are a marketplace that is independent, that is intended to assist and enable every player that is interested in going big in the export business. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. I think you look at the time, it is, but this is a very, very interesting session. So we need to agree that we conclude properly, and then we go for a late lunch. Thank you very much for that presentation. So can we have questions? Answers?
In the interest of time, it will be out of your will that we have questions, but for us, we shall keep supporting you along the way. If you have those questions, they can come in later on. Our team is still here. Meaning after lunch, you can leave at your own will, or you can stay around to shoot all those questions. And if there are any pending questions that you think it is important that everyone gets to hear, it's okay. But if, yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you so much for this profound platform. At least we have come to know a lot. It's a great opportunity for the case of farmers since the world is changing now to technology. Now, one thing I know is that market access is not market entry. Market is there. But how can we position ourselves to enter into this market? I think that one should be a question at the back of our minds, apart from our other colleagues who have already been exporting. My name is Hannah Mwesgwa. I work with the Allied Workers Association. I'm also a farmer. Now, I think it's a recommendation. We need more capacity building. Mr. Naikas, thank you so much, but I think the 4 sessions which are left are not enough. You need to lobby for more because, honestly speaking, this is big. Because when we reached about, when we reached that part of continued tracing, I was almost going off. You know, we are adults, and at times the intake becomes a little much. So we need more time. And the good thing, even USAID is here, please, they need to increase on the resources. We need more of this. I was happy to hear Hot Fresh talking about the label, the certifying body. It is going to be good. When our products are certified and they have a common label, it increases our market. So that is good, and we are ready to get into that. Then when you look at the global dynamics around trade, you find that farmers are facing a lot. However much the Ministry of Agriculture previously was talking about food prices going down. What about other prices? You find that they really intimidate this local farmer. Now the food prices are down, but the farmer is going to use paraffin. the farmer is still going to buy other commodities which are high, but the food prices are down. Pesticides are expensive. So what can we do to improve the lives of these farmers also? Now, as a marketing body, FAMUNERA, I believe you need to also advocate for higher prices for our products, and also HortiFresh. All the products which are under your certifying label, I think they should have a better price tag. If at all we can standardize and not making them if we just liberalize them, it is going to be hard. Because if at all I see that maybe the products of such a farmer are at $500 maybe dollars, what I will do, I will make 490. So people will run to that and they will leave the other one aside. So if we can come up with a standard mechanism for this product, since while doing the market tracing, we are going to put in a lot of effort. Because our markets here are not like the outside markets. These people look at quality. So I think we need to standardize the prices, and also we need to tighten our belts. You talked about the video, putting it on YouTube. That means we need to give the best. And the Ministry of Agriculture, these people who give us the codes and certificates, it's sad that maybe our brother is out and sister. Their attitude is not good. Let them first train the farmers. Let them first talk to us before we go to them. But when you reach there, they seem like we know everything they need. And then they are very tough. So they are not friendly at all. I think they also need some capacity building from HortiFresh, by the way. Yeah, on how to handle us. They really need to train us before they can talk to us. They are very tough. They are not friendly at all. The banks, I'm happy that now they are not going to be very, very tough. They have said that we don't need to put in what? Collateral. At times they sound very good in the beginning, but when things get hot, my dear, their faces change. They don't smile at all when they are demanding. So let me hope this time they are going to be good. Then to our sisters in Mesa, are you going to offer us pro bono services, or we are going to to pay something? I submit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I take the pleasure to appreciate the CEO and the masterminds behind that digital marketplace. It's really an honor, and it portrays a good future where the farming business should lead. We really appreciate, and we say keep on the road. There is something ahead. Then, back to the point, I think this is a very sensitive kind of an engagement where many stakeholders are at a platform like this. So, going out without addressing key issues, more so me being a farmer and a leader of a producer organization, which is a cooperative, I think I should talk about this. We are aiming at export. Somebody talked about Kenya being ahead of us, but these people planned this long time ago. So as people who are looking at export being one of the ways to raise our country incomes and GDPs of farmers, how are we supporting beyond our sittings here? I mean, Maif, what is the steps taken once as a cooperative we try to submit, Maif is giving out tractors. How are we mechanizing this? Because these are the important things. When a person mechanizes, being a farmer who does practical farming, when you mechanize more so when it's a dry season like this, you have better quality produce. So how are we supporting such? To FAMUNERA, this is information given out. From farmer, transporters, there is a lot you have to give out. How are you ensuring
confidentiality of information given to you as people who are under the custodian, who manage, who has the dashboard, the complete dashboard, from a farmer in Ruero to an exporter who is in Germany, let me say, who needs one importer or a person or a client or a buyer or anyone who is needing this information. What assurance do you give me, a person who is going to profile on the platform, to be sure my people are protected? Nobody should come, and when he's coming to get that information, let me say, my if is government. These are farmers who don't want to expose their information. How are you assuring me that under right channels this information will be supplied? 3, quality. Because quality is very key. Abdu is going to have a farmer, who at one point, like one person talked to you, you source from 3 farmers, then one of them does not, or at a certain time bleaches, then it passes the sorting stage to the consumer. Then the consumer comes back through the channels of supply, that is FAMUNERA. Then, as FAMUNERA, in between the lines, the dots of producer to the final man, how are you trying to ensure, you as you, FAMUNERA, how are you trying to ensure that goods that goes through your channels go under the right quality criteria and taken up things? Otherwise, I think being ahead of time, I thank you, Hot Flesh, Maif, the Mesa guys who have been here. Legalities in this business is really crucial. Farmers are cheated. We producers who are leading organizations like mine, we don't know where to run to most of the time, but whenever we see such stakeholders aboard, we think we're really strengthening the ecosystem. We need to match the economy, more so the agribusiness, forward. For God and my country, I'm Abdul Serias, the General Secretary for Zirowe Kalagala Multipurpose Youth Cooperative Society Limited. We are dealing in financing. We have a saving department. We are dealing in processing. We have a grain milling business. We are dealing in skilling, where we work with people like Newman. Mr. Sam is not a uncommon face to me. We work on a number of things. Otherwise, we are looking ahead for a strengthened partnership with FAMUNERA. I've seen opportunities, profiling, that is something very good, but I was just cautious about the assurance of confidentiality. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again. Thank you so much for that insightful presentation. However, from the beginning of the workshop up to the end, I noticed that this marketplace, I think maybe was built for only fresh products. But then, when Mr. Julius, when you were presenting, when you reached that part of I think sorting and what? And processing. You also talked about yes, processing and that and packaging, that part. You talked about you said for those of you who do processing like drying. So I'm a little bit confused. Does this marketplace only consider fresh products, or it also puts into consideration other processed products? And if it only considers fresh products, why? That is my first concern. And then the other concern is when we look at the products that are posted, you said that a farmer is the one to make the choice on how they measure, like the measuring units for which they sell their products. For example, kilograms. Like you can see that others are in metric tons. So I was suggesting that maybe FAMUNERA could have standard measurement units and then maybe have automated converters, because if we are going to sell to international markets, different countries use different measurement units. So these converters have to be there. Yeah. And then finally, My youth certificate. It is not so easy to get. That one I know, I have tried several times. It is not so easy to get. So I don't know what my youth is going to do to help us get these certificates, because exporting fresh food products out of this country, it is not easy. Thank you.
Before we proceed, I think Hortifresh is working very well with Maif. So if you have issues with the export, getting the export certificate or the export number, please contact us. I don't think it is complicated. There are a few steps you have to follow, and you are done. So, yes, we can guide you on that very, very, very fast. And the office is open. We have people. There's a gentleman seated behind there. Mr. Yuda? He's there. Have you seen that gentleman behind there? Yes. If you have issues with getting my IF number, export number, permission, contact him now. He's here with us. So let us have Julius answer a few questions, then we conclude and go for lunch.
Thank you very much. I'll answer the question that is concerned with how are you ensuring confidentiality of our data? Those that own it, the aggregators. I mentioned that the aggregators, we have the farmer produce organizations, of course, cooperatives, farmer groups, associations, federations. Then we have the traders, normally who just purchase and fulfill their consignment. So those are all aggregators. So how are we ensuring confidentiality of the data? First of all, the data, I'm sure you've used therapies where maybe you are feeding in accounting information. Imagine that's what FAMUNERA is. I mean, it's independent, that it's your own data to a level that we don't even know anybody's password. I'm sure you've engaged, leave alone the people who normally do the scamming. I'm sure you've engaged with telecom companies where if you wanted to change a password and you have forgotten your password, also they don't even know it, because they normally develop systems that encrypt everything. That even them, the administrators, the way how the systems store the data, it is encrypted that they don't even know the passwords. So that is, I'm talking about the genuine telecom people who normally, like when you go to a service center, you can try it out and you tell them, I've forgotten my password for mobile money. They will tell you, okay, let us initiate for you the Nini, and then you fill in your own password, because they also don't know it. That is the truth with FAMUNERA. We don't know these things that, we are a storage. We are a storage. We are a data bank for you, but we don't know even the passwords of your farmers that you've created. We don't know we don't know your password. I mean, we don't know with this. So what happens is that, leave alone the people who do the conning. Normally this Christmas season, I've so far every day received like 2 phone calls, a person telling me your number is going to get blocked in 5 minutes. Can you tell us your password? Leave alone those. Now those are just people who are trying to con you. But the real administrators of these systems, normally, all these things are always encrypted. They don't know them. So I can assure you, we don't know these things. All we have is a data bank for you. A data bank for you. And a network for you. But you fully know your data. And the other question is that, the other assurance that, what assurance do you give me that the information won't reach out to people like Maif if you are not interested? Like I said, we don't share the data. You share it. Meaning that at the point when Maif or your buyer or the bank where you're going to get a loan says, I need this, you share the data. We don't share the data. you actually, when you give them a QR code or a link, you even the one who's supposed to give them the access key. Because the systems gives you the capability to generate the QR code or to generate a link or to even generate an access key. Meaning you know all these yourself. And that means you are in full control of everything. Exactly. So I don't know if I've satisfied you in that regard, regarding assurance of the data. The other thing is that how are you, okay, does this marketplace consider only fruits and vegetable exporters? Well, like I said, our intervention to start enabling food exporters started as of to go live and have a marketplace for that's enabling exporters started as of July this year. So, but we started at an angle of FFV. That's why we had a partnership with Hotfresh US, such that we start tackling this angle first. But we heading into other value chains. Starting 1st of July, we're hitting fisheries, we're hitting meat and dairy. But for now, between now and end of December this year, we are with FFV. That's why you're seeing most of them are fruits and vegetables for now. But for the inputs have been happening since 2016. So just to clarify on that. Then lastly, I think it was just a suggestion that we should have converters on the platform. Yes, we are going to be able to implement this. As you know, even 1,000 steps begin with at least one step. And like I said already, the conversion can be done automatically by our system if in another country. What we are going to add is that even if you're in UG, but you want to see the prices in USD, you can do so. But we are going to make sure we can be able to, and we welcome all the feedback and suggestions of how we can improve this better. Already those that we already in pipeline that we are doing, maybe there are those that we haven't thought about, and you can contribute to the suggestion and make this the best solution that we can be able to, that you can be able to use and grow your business to full potential. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is after 2. I can see that the energy levels are low, are very low indeed. I just have to share a few issues. One is to encourage you to participate in the remaining sessions. You can send a colleague, you can send another. We still have 4, I think 4. They will end by the end of February. And after that, there's an appeal to our development partners that we should have more. I think they have heard it very well. I don't know. Another thing is kindly engage FAMUNERA. Continue engaging FAMUNERA and make sure that they meet your requirements. Their details, contact details are at the back, and they sit at the Innovation Center in Ntinda. The Innovation Village in Ntinda Complex, opposite that church, St. Luke Church. You can find them there. Finally, for me, I would like to thank you very much for your active participation. When we interact with you, we also learn our weaknesses as Hotfresh. We have learned areas where we need to improve to serve you better. Like I said, we have a dream of realizing the potential of the fresh fruits and vegetables in the country. It has been always a talk for the past 20 years. It has been a talk. This time we are ready to make it what? A reality. We would like to thank you all participants, indeed, because if you hadn't come and participated, I think we would have felt so stupid. It's like when in the Bible they said that when you do what? You organize a feast and you don't get the event and people don't come. So, but we are happy that, and we have got new partners now who have come on, and indeed we need them. The ministry is always with us. The ministry wants us actually to go into self-regulation so that they only come in to do what? They want us to regulate ourselves. They don't want to be there like policemen. They have given us everything, all the guidelines. I would like to thank the FAMUNERA for the job well done. Indeed, you are not misplaced. by sitting at Innovation Center. This is a great innovation. Like you said, there is none other better than yours. I think I'm believing so. I hope we believe so, all of us. And finally, Smart TV 24, I've checked you out to ask some people whether we are really there. And they confirmed that we were there. So that's why I kept telling you that please keep smiling. And we should have them again and again. Let us proceed for lunch and we continue this discussion. It should not end here. Mesa are on 8th floor up there. Please go and visit them if you have challenges of transactions. And if you have challenges of money, yes, Stanbic Bank is there. You go and get the money which you want. If you have challenges with Maif, yes, take his contact. Say, Maif people have been so bad, they don't allow us to. And Hot Fresh, you know, we like these such interactions. Together, we shall make it. Thank you very much for God and our country. I don't know where the lunch. Somebody talk about the lunch? There is a lady at the back there. Who is going to talk about the lunch? Okay, you pass by that lady behind to pick a ticket which will take you to lunch. Thank you.
Mr. Balagat, a picture for the partners and even the people in the room.
Smart 24, driving business.